Hey, we did it. We are a little bit late, but we are here. A familiar face for at least one time. You've been on here before. Welcome back, Drew, aka DrewTheDamager. The Drew Tang clan is now officially reunited. How's it going, Drew?
It's going pretty good. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like it's only fair you got to gush about something that you really love. So tonight you probably, if you're here from any of my previous streams, you've probably heard me talk about this game before. It is it's very near and dear to my heart. It is my version of your. Well, maybe not Chrono Trigger because everybody knows what Chrono Trigger is. That's the one we talked about last time. But this here is I even have the physical copy here from the original Xbox. I know you're into Magic the Gathering, correct?
I have played Magic the Gathering, yes.
Okay.
I'm more of a D&D guy.
Okay.
I have played Magic before, yes.
All right. Well, this is basically my elevator pitch for this game, which is called Phantom Dust, is what if Magic the Gathering was a real-time arena action fighting game? It's like in the post-apocalyptic, very weird Japanese world.
That's a lot of things coming together.
It is a lot, and you wouldn't think that it would work, but it does. And I think the best way for me to experience, or for anyone to experience this for the first time, is probably in the way that I did, which was just to see the opening cutscene. And then, so we're doing something a little bit different here, folks, friends, frenemies, enemies. I actually have, this is the reason we're a little bit late. I have some gameplay actually here. I have some gameplay. It's not pre-recorded. I don't know why I said we have some gameplay. I have. Hey, look at this. I've never used this layout before. This is
fancy.
Yeah. So I can actually play. We were trying to get it so that I could screen share to Drew and he can see in real time, but unfortunately you're just gonna have to kind of watch on the stream, which is going to be a little bit delayed. However,
I think I'm only like 2-3 seconds back.
Yeah,
so
it's like 3 seconds, I think. We're gonna end. Hey, Ermagerd, Curd Germ. Are you gonna stump me again, Parallax? God damn it. Okay. Curd Germ. He always comes in with these with these puzzles, these word puzzles, and I have to guess what it is. He stumped me for the very first time. Yesterday. Curd Germ. Oh, I think a follow just came through.
Oh, nice.
Toaster Oven, thank you for following. Chris from Physics Dev Quest is here. Oh shit, someone's affiliate now. I got ads before I could see your stream. Yeah, totally. That's me. Welcome, Toaster Oven. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And yes, I did just hit affiliate, so I do apologize for the ads. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. And there's the love of my life, Cutie Pie Pie Chan. Cutie Pie P Chan. Yeah, Parallax. I'm gonna have to take another L on that one. I think it's like 36-2 now. Curd Germ? I don't know, but Drew, you have any idea what that was?
I've been trying to figure it out.
Ermagerd Curd Germ. Curd card game? I was seeing you spelled it germ with a G like giraffe, so I was like germ. That's what threw me off. Okay, so sorry. And this is the greatest cards game, Toaster Oven. You are right. So Drew, I gotta set the stage here before we even do anything. This is Tuesdays, every Tuesday here on the Experience Point. We do something called Talk Tuesdays. Usually it's with my buddy Josh from the Still Loading Pod. Give them a follow. Today, a couple of weeks ago, my man Drew here was on to tell me about Chrono Trigger in a segment that I like to call Experience Share.
By the way, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh no!
But by the way, I had to interject. Today is actually the 30th anniversary of the Japanese release of Chrono Trigger.
No way. So Phantom Dust is celebrating its 20th this week. So I thought it was a great time to do that. So yes. Nice. So I will prostrate myself before the gamer lords. I've never actually played Chrono Trigger, which hurts me inside. It's Gabby's favorite game. That's awesome. So I guess she leveled that up from Final Fantasy X back when we worked together at a Dairy Queen. Holy crap. Long connections in this experience point. So I do a segment called Experience Share, which basically is like, hey, you like a thing that you're super into. I want to be into that thing, or at least just I want to see like your passion. So Drew came on a couple weeks ago and was like, basically dumped all of Chrono Trigger on me, and I was like, that sounds amazing, and I really want to play it now. So it's my turn now. I've talked about this game on pretty much all of my streams. Nobody ever knows what this game is. Phantom Dust is technically 21. Oh, maybe it's the American release then is the 20th this year, because I think it was 2005 here. I think it was 4 there though. Toaster, you're probably right. I always say this is like the best game that no one's ever heard of. It was on the original Xbox. It's basically American was 2005. Yeah, that's when I played it then. This is the best game that no one's ever heard of. It's a card game. It's very Japanese. It's very weird. It's very post-apocalyptic. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna show you the opening cutscene, or no, I'm gonna show you the attract mode from the main menu. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit, and then.
Yeah, because you said this was a card game. That does not look like a card game.
No. Well, so it's a arena battle game with card game mechanics. So you build the decks and then you take them out and battle in real time with them. Yeah. So I'll let this go. It does a little, almost like we're in the arcade. It'll do its thing. And it'll show you like a bunch of stuff that'll probably feel like sensory overload because there's going to be a lot happening. And then I'll show you the opening cutscene, which is amazing and looks so good for how old it is. Real
this
talk.
Came out in 2005.
2005 in the US, yeah. Algox. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Real talk. There's not a genre for this game. It's its own thing. You are not wrong. You are not wrong at all. All right, it should be cycling through. I mean, either way, this intro screen is awesome. And if anyone's ever watched the anime Ergo Proxy, another like underrated anime, it kind of looks like this screen. Oh, okay, here we go.
I didn't want you to find out the truth.
Let me know if this sounds okay, Drew. And everyone.
Left is this underground world and our scraps of memories and the image of the ruins in our heads.
53 days since my return. The fog-like dust covering this desolate earth has a strange effect on me, changing me deep inside. Is it the dust that made the human race extinct?
None of us remembers anything. We live in this world we don't understand, with people without memories wandering around, with monsters roaming the surface and these strange particles and
Game's a little quiet, okay.
It would have been better if you hadn't. But now that you have two choices. Continue living underground, or stay on the surface world and die.
What do you want?
I hope to never see you on the surface again, for both our sakes, and for his.
I see. This could give us an advantage in battle since we can choose the skills we want to use.
Here, you see? Skills. Concentrated dust.
Leader, please say something. Anything.
Stop looking at me like that! Stop blaming me!
This is wild.
Yeah, it's nuts. But already it's like, how do you even describe? Like, I've never seen a game that looks or feels like this before or since.
Yeah, so let me just wait until it gets done.
Please, you must stop him. Stop him before it's too late.
Phantom dust.
Salacophile. Is it Salacophile? I don't know if it's a hard CH or Salachophile. Is right. 300 cards, basically, in this game.
Wow.
So everything, all the fireballs and all the shields and stuff that they were doing, the lasers and the boosting and stuff, those are all individual cards. And so you build a deck and you go out and you fight each other. Or, if you do the story mode, you're fighting like monsters or sometimes the other, they're called espers. Yeah. Oh man, there's my Kakashi Hayabusa, the username I've had since the original Xbox. Like when I played this game back in the day. This is a new save, so it doesn't have my like hundreds of hours that I've put into it on the original Xbox. Chain of Memories. Oh, how dare you? No, I'm just kidding. So
I will say about that opening cutscene, it started out sort of like a regular kind of run-of-the-mill, like post-apocalyptic type story. And then it went into some kind of wild fever dream.
Yeah, that tracks. Would you like me to up both of those things to 11?
Oh, was that just scratching the surface?
That's just scratching the surface. Would you like to see the opening cutscene of this game? The pre-rendered, very beautiful opening cutscene of this game.
Oh, sure. Was that not the I guess like the story opening?
Right? Yeah. That's basically like the attract mode. If this was an arcade game, would be what would be playing to get people to come over and pop quarters into it.
Yeah.
When you start the game, this is I'm just gonna start a new game here.
All right.
This is your first introduction into this freaking ridiculous world that I love with all my heart. I'm so happy so many people are here to see me share this. I'm imagining all the new people are probably from the Phantom Dust Discord, which I posted in a little bit before we went live. So I need some support. I need some, Spirit Bomb. Lend me your energy here. Keep the passion going. What is? I didn't press start.
How did you originally find out about this game?
Oh, I will go into that after this.
Okay.
Because I have a really cool story about that, actually.
Not when the world changed. Nor why.
PD Discord gang! Hell yeah. And it looks so good still for its age.
Surface, affecting the brains of humans and stealing their memories. Strange apparitions began to appear.
Yeah.
Humans fled their
And you're not alone, Chris. Most people don't know what this game is. That's the point.
The demons and the dust. The dust took from us, But to some, it gave something new. The ability to transform their will into energy. This new breed, the Espers, risk their lives searching the surface world for clues.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the lasers. Don't know if it was Vibe Laser, but...
Clues on the surface that might let us recover the memories we've lost.
Parallax, yes. Oh, I love that. He just chops a dude in half.
That's badass.
Yes, it is free, Toaster Oven. That's usually what I end with when people are like on the fence. I'm like, and you can play it for free. It's on Xbox and PC.
So that's good. So my computer can run it.
Yeah. I'll give you that, Algol. So they find these like caskets, basically. Yeah, totally. Definitely play through the single player mode. It's basically just one long tutorial for the bulk of like the real, I don't want to say real game, but it sets you up really well for multiplayer because you earn more cards and skills and stuff. And it's a great, very weird but great game. Or a story anyway. No beating your head against the wall with the steep learning curve. Aww. So yeah, the silver-haired Steven Tyler looking cracked out motherfucker is in the casket is who you play as.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's your character.
Oh shit.
Yeah, these guys found you and one other guy, the kind of bushier-haired Spike Spiegel looking one, in these caskets, and then you kind of piece together the story as you go along. Hey, what's up, Tilted? We're just talking about Phantom Dust, only the best game that no one's ever heard of. Except all these amazing people in the chat from the Phantom Dust Discord here to show support for an obscure game that needs more love. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And the follows are just incredible. Thank you so much for all the love. So that's Edgar. That's the other one. You and him. Hey, Affin Show. Hope that I'm pronouncing that right. Affin Shu. Thank you for the follow. You are now up on the leaderboard up there. You've just taken over Toaster Oven as the newest follower. So yeah, that's the basic setup. I think it may help if I show you like a quick match. Blazy. Thank you for the follow. Let me go. So I started a new game to do that, but let me go into my, I guess we can delete this. You can oh my god, I'm playing it on a delay because I'm watching it through OBS. Let me switch. Let me switch my input real quick. There we go. Oh god, this music. Oh my god, this music.
Hold on, I gotta turn it up.
I could just sit here and listen to this piano forever.
Yeah, that is cool.
I have this game already, free on Xbox, and I claimed it a while ago. Nice. You gotta play it. So every mission, once you beat it, you can go into this simulator and just replay them. So I'll show you my favorite level, which is the highway. It's probably the most iconic. I don't know. Maybe I may have some people in here that disagree.
This is not at all what I expected.
Well, okay. So I'll show you what makes the card part. Let me find. I don't know. Let me find a good one to. I guess this one. I don't know. So you don't have to pay too much attention to the arsenal and whatever. That's basically my decks. I haven't. There we go. Okay, so this is where we start. As you can see, oh, the lasagna from last time. I had some. It was the worst. The dialogue in this game is absurd. How did you manage to create something so awful? Something like that is bound to make a loved one starve. Regular like me want something good to eat. Okay. Okay, so as we can see here,
Do you remember when I said this felt like a fever dream?
yes. Oh, that's not going to change. It's only going to get worse. Okay, so here we have your Psycho Knife, Splashdown, Psycho Shell. As you can see, oh my god, please don't hit me. I'm just trying to demonstrate. These the up, down, left, and right. These are your face buttons. So Psycho Knife here on X is on X. So when I hit that, I can, and the background is completely destructible.
Oh wow.
Which is super sick. So the aura is like your mana in Magic. Oh my god. So you can have defensive moves like this Psycho Shell. So as you can see, like the Psycho Shell costs 3 and I have 4. These ones are like your mana. This is like your home. This is your hand, basically, or like your deck, like your little home. Oh my god, I'm just trying to explain. So now I have 6. So if I use a 3, it'll go down to 3, and then it'll slowly build back up again to 6. So I'll go down here and I'll try to fight somebody. I'm sure all the Phantom Dust fans in here are like, oh my god, this dude sucks. I'm trying to explain for the first time this game while I'm playing. So I'm literally about to die. I'm starting to limp. So we can use our little knife, which does a little bit of damage. Knock him down. See if this splashdown works. I'm going to bait out an attack. I'm going to try anyway. Okay, let's just try it anyway. Boom! See ya! And then you can push him off the edge. You can't do that in multiplayer. But yeah, like, oh god, see how like the floor crumbles when you land on it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Maybe I don't know if I picked like a great level or arsenal. But basically, I'm gonna die. It's all right. Oh, Psycho Spear. Okay, so you can see here's how a projectile would work. This thing you kind of like literally can lob like a boom, 8 damage on that one. But if you notice, I don't have it anymore. There are some that are a one-time use.
Yeah.
D-pad will show the description of the skill. Oh, that's true. Yeah. So if you're like, wait, Psycho Knife, what is that? You can press the D-pad in that direction, and you'll be like, oh, it costs 2, and it does 2.
Nice.
Psycho Shell. Oh, it blocks for 6, and blocks for piercing things, like the spear that I just used.
Yeah.
So you go back to your. This guy's gonna come up and try to snipe me. Stop it! I'm trying to be a teacher here. Oh my god. So you see that laser that he shot at me was kind of went into an arc.
Yep.
So different moves have different like travel arcs, which is pretty sweet. Get out of here. So basically you kind of are like, here's where your
I love the pushing them off.
yeah. Here's where your deck spawns. Let's see what else do we have here. And they're all color coded, which is cool. So like at a glance you can see like, oh, I didn't mean to overwrite my defense move there. Hey, we won. So that was probably a lot. PH is useless. Not as useless as Sumitaki. Oh, I like her, but she definitely uses too many of the skills that hurt you. So maybe I will show you one more thing. So that's basically what the matches look like, and then as you get skills for doing missions and stuff, you can. Oh, I think we got was that a follow that came through? Yes. Thank you, Surreal Sam. I can see why you.
Sam is an awesome.
I was gonna say I can see why you like this game. So also look at this freaking overworld. Like this is the hub world. You're just underground, and it's like twisted pipes and just rusty metal, and your dude looks like he's seen better days because he has. But you go here. I won't explain like everything, but I just wanted to give you an overview before we really dive in. So once you get to a certain point,
see this right here, it looks like what the steampunk future is actually going to be.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You
know how like not steampunk, cyberpunk. Like you know how in cyberpunk stuff everything is always like it's always like streamlined and super techy.
Yeah.
That's not how it's going to be in real life. Everything's going to be fucked up and broken down and rusty and shitty.
You are not wrong, unfortunately, and they knew this 21 years ago.
Yeah.
I think his name's Futatsi. Oh no, Futatsuki-san, who made this game, is actually the guy who made Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So here's basically like when you're building a deck, like you have different attacks, and they're each. Is there like an equivalent in Magic that's like, so these like this yin yang thing and this triangle Illuminati looking thing? It's like different schools of Magic. Is that a thing in Magic, the Gathering, the card game?
Sort of. There's like different lands.
Okay.
Like different like elements, basically.
This game was being worked on in Christmas of 1999. Holy shit!
Wow.
Wow.
That makes sense, though. I mean, if it came out in 2005, they worked on it for 6 years.
Yeah, that's fair. They definitely took more time back in the day. The color buy in Magic. Yeah, so each arsenal, which is your deck, basically, can hold either 1, 2, or 3 schools of Magic. So those would be like your lands. And the more schools you have, the more cards you can use, skills. But the slower your mana, aka aura, regenerates. So even in just how you set up your deck, there's a lot that goes into it. So obviously we have our attacks, and what's cool is you can also see a little preview of like what your attack's going to look like.
Oh yeah, down the bottom there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you throw a little thing and it blows up. Cost 3, does 3, medium range. There's attacks, there's defense, there's erase moves, which can let you like go through an enemy's defense and erase their shield and then hit him with something strong.
Oh damn.
And then there's like these are status moves, which can like, this increases your homing accuracy. So if you have a move that's like strong but doesn't have great homing, you can pop one of these acquisitions, which will let it like home in easier. Meditation just increases your aura, and you have these special moves, which are like levitating, jumping around, turning invisible. Like it's super sick. Like there's so much that you can do. Like somebody had mentioned, there's over 300 skills, over 300 cards in this game. So
yeah, that's wild.
I hope that is not super overwhelming. I will go back to our little chat view here, and I would love to tell you the story of how I discovered this game. So I don't know if anyone else in the Discord / now who is here will have the same experience as me. I have such a weird story as to how I came across this game. So do you remember the official Xbox magazine?
I don't. I remember Nintendo Power.
Yeah, it was the Xbox version of that.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So they had demo disc, like the PlayStation magazine would have demo discs as well, and so you could play like demos of obviously a bunch of games that were coming out or in development or whatever. And there was I don't know why they did this, but I'm glad they did because it's cool lore. There, OXM3, yes. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one because I feel like I'm insane whenever I tell this story. They had hidden demos. So you would pop in the disc and it would be like, here's a demo, here's a trailer or whatever. They did this weird thing for a little while that was like, you basically had to play Simon to unlock a demo. So you'd hold, I think it was L, maybe R, and then you'd push a face button. Like say you hit X. And then if nothing happens, then it's not that button. And maybe you hit Y. If it starts to rumble a little bit, then that's the right button. You push the next button in the sequence, like maybe you push B or Y again. And if it stops rumbling, then that was wrong and you have to start over. If it rumbles a little bit more, then you've got the next button in the sequence. So I sat there for like an hour trying to figure out and writing down like, okay, so it was like Y, okay, it was B, and then A, X, like
yeah, it's like cracking a safe.
Yeah, and literally, it's like playing Simon. But there's nothing on there that says like, hey, try out this new cool thing. Like I think maybe they said something in the magazine about it. But when you finally crack the code, it started up the Japanese demo for Phantom Dust. So not only did this weird ass fever dream of a game start playing on my Xbox when I'm like 13 years old, it was all in Japanese. And I was like, what is this? And even then I was so hooked from that. Oh, there was a hint in the magazine. Okay. Can vouch this is real. Thank you. I feel like I'm having my own fever dream whenever I talk about this. So you unlock the demo for it and you got like a couple of missions. And I was just blown away by the effects and the textures and the music, and the character models were so weird. Like everything's so weird and dark, but it was just so fun, and the destructible environments. Dope is probably legit the most recent person to have done this. Oh, okay. Nice. And it was just like, it blew my mind. Like I started to obsess over it, and I was like, I need to know more about this. Like what? I don't even know. I don't know it's all in Japanese. I don't, I'm learning Japanese now, but I didn't then. I was like, I don't know what any of this means. And I got hooked. I remember the specific moment that hooked me. Phantom Dust players, you're going to know what level I'm talking about, but there's a level called Panorama, which is basically like you're in like a 2-floor, it kind of looks like an old office building or maybe like an apartments or something, but there's like an elevator shaft. Pano boys. Actually, I have to say it, Panorama is one of my least favorite levels. I'm sorry. But there's like an elevator shaft that you can jump down to go from one level to another. I was standing in front of it, and I like went to go like shoot something or do like a sword move at one of the enemies, and then they hit me with like this move that it might have been the like a burst of energy that like knocked me away, and I got blown into the elevator shaft, like broke the concrete against the wall, and then fell down the elevator shaft, smashing more concrete, and then rolling out, like dramatically rolling out onto the bottom floor, and just like cracking the tiles and stuff. And the effects were so cool. I was like, oh my god, I just got my ass kicked in the coolest possible way. And like the destructible environments and like just everything's so bright, and like you're warping reality, and like it kind of oh no, unsubscribed, I'm so sorry. I'm a highway guy. I like the big open levels. That one's definitely super cramped, although We like some Ricochet laser. We got some Ricochet laser in that level. Thank you, Al Golks, for the follow, the pity follow, I'm sure, because everybody likes Pano. But yeah, it grabbed me, and I was playing with my cousin as well. And we were like, what is this? We need more of this. And I don't know, it was probably like the better part of another year before it actually came out. Destructible environment is all fun and games until city debris hits you for 8 HP. Oh my god, you're so right. City is the trash level. I like city though. I feel like I'm just the contrarian here.
I can only imagine what it must have been like for you to tell your friends, I got a demo, and in the demo there's a hidden game, and that hidden game you run around and there's cards and everything is destructible and it's all in Japanese. Your friends must have been like, fuck you.
Nobody believed me.
You're making shit up.
I was like, yeah, you play like a mini game and you have to crack this code and then you get into this super secret. Nobody believed me until I showed them, and they were like, holy shit, this is actually really cool. So my cousin and I got like super obsessed with it when it came out. We played it like all the time. Like honestly, on my original Xbox save file, I still have my original Xbox. I'll have to boot it up and see, but I honestly probably put 400 hours into it. Like,
holy shit.
It was a lot, and I haven't played it in a while, as you could tell by my demonstration, which was awful. I haven't even like built up the decks that I used to have back in the day. I had a lot of really cool tricky decks, but I do want to say before I forget, I'm going to have to do another little visual gag. Not a visual gag, but as you can see, I have it's the Duke OG original Xbox controller, like the big fat one, which everybody hated except me because I don't know if you can tell on my camera, but I'm 6'4", so I have pretty big hands. I loved the Duke as a kid, playing Halo 1, playing Phantom Dust. Everybody hated this controller. They put the controller out again. I just play this when I play Halo 1 and Phantom Dust because it makes me feel nostalgic. But they put this out again, and if you remember the opening, like when you turn on the original Xbox, there was that little like wow, 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 weird like green thing. Check this out. I'm gonna have to get up off the mic for a quick second to put this up in the camera, but watch this.
My god. That's so cool.
Right.
Oh man, talk about nostalgia. Holy shit.
Dude, I know, right?
That brings me right back to like 2003.
Like 2001, I think the original Xbox came out. It just makes me want to play Halo 1, which I still posit is the best one. Or maybe not the best one. I think 3 is probably the best one, but 1 will always be my favorite. It does what we always wanted that big ass jewel to do, which did nothing back in the day.
Right, yeah.
Good time. Oh, I have the pink one? I didn't know they made a pink one. Anyway, so I'm sure that was a lot, but the chat is absolutely popping off, which is just making me so happy. I am going to play this. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to ask the Phantom Dust community, do you consider this a fighting game? Halo 3 is the GOAT. Because I don't know if I do. So every Friday I play fighting games. It's Fighting Game Friday. All my stream days are themed. And I'm like, could I play Phantom Dust on a Friday? Is it a fighting game? I feel like it's maybe more like an action game.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Could you slot this into the Fighting Game Friday?
I don't know. No, but
does it not feel like a fighting game?
Like it is, but like people would probably say like arena fighting games are not fighting games. Like the Naruto Storm games play kind of like that. Like 3D, you're running around like a big world. I would consider that a fighting game. You have health bars. You have, it's a fighting game disguised as a card game.
Yeah.
It's a card game and a fighting game. It's a little bit of a lot of different things. Yeah. You're okay.
I forget who it was earlier that came in said the game defies genre.
It really does, in the best ways. So I don't know. Maybe I'll play this on a Friday. Luckily for games like this, I have here. I'll do my whole spiel for everyone who's new here, which a lot of people are, and this is making me so happy. So Mondays are main quest Mondays. That's when I play story-based games. I'm going through another very obscure gem on the PS2 called Steambot Chronicles right now, which is basically Studio Ghibli with mechs, and it's amazing. Then on Tuesdays is Talk Tuesdays. That's what we're doing right now. Wednesdays is Wildcard Wednesdays, which is where I could slot in a Phantom Dust, which is basically like, I want to play something. I want to play, I don't know, Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast, like just because I feel like it. I'll throw that on a Wildcard Wednesday. It's not going to be a regular thing. We're just going to go through the story. It's just like, this is what I feel like playing today. Then Fridays, Fighting Game Fridays. Right now I'm going through the story, the World Tour mode of Street Fighter 6, but I feel like I'm coming to the end of that, and I was like, should I make Phantom Dust my next one? I don't know. I do want to get back into it. I see the Discord popping off all the time, people doing super sick matches, and I am terrified of getting back into this game after 20 years of not playing it, like competitively, because I used to play a ton back in the day. Like I met some friends on when I was like 16 back in the day on original Xbox Live that I still have on my Xbox friends list, and I'm like, they're like deactivated for like 5 years or something, and I'm like, I hope they're still alive. But what was your OG gamer tag? So it's actually the same one that you saw when I had it pulled up. It's Kakashi Hayabusa. So I don't remember what my score got up to. Oh my god, we got a Power Stone referenced in here. Okay, you're in the right spot, Offit Show, because whoo, that's another one where I'm like, yes, I consider that a fighting game. I have played that on Fighting Game Fridays before, so maybe Phantom Dust is a fighting game. I don't know.
I remember Power Stone. I never played it, but I remember.
Oh, it's great. It's
I remember when it came out because I'm old as shit.
Right.
So.
I know. I always talk about how old I am, and you're like, I was 25 when you were born. No, I think you're what, like 9 years older than me?
Something like that. Yeah. I'm old for Twitch. I'm not old for Earth.
Yeah,
I'm old for Twitch.
I'm not old for this planet. Oh my god, yeah, Chris. I've only known you as Kakashi Hayabusa. Yeah, I've literally had the same Xbox gamer tag since I was like 16. I mean, this was half of my life ago. Oh my god, I'll be dead soon. No, here's another funny thing though to maybe prove how long I've had this game. So I have the physical copy here. Not only is this my original copy from when I was a kid, I still have the handwritten notes of. So when you play multiplayer, you can pick different colors for your characters. Now the only problem is you don't get to see what those colors are. So you select a character and then it says color 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I have.
It doesn't show you a preview?
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
God.
So I have handwritten notes of what all the colors were. Freya, 1, white jacket. 2, red jacket. 3, real Freya. Oh, maybe that's a spoiler. 4, black jacket. Like, oh, and I also have like what their So here's an interesting other thing about this game. Not everybody can jump in this game. Which sounds weird. I'm sure you saw me jumping around when I was showing you that one little level, but
there was a levitate spell card.
Yes, too. You're catching on quick. So not everyone can jump. So certain characters can jump when you click the left stick. Certain characters cartwheel. Certain characters roll. They all do different things, like in terms of like dodging attacks. But if you have a character who can't jump and you need to get up high, you can like equip one of those levitate skills. So I would love to see this is Precious, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, this is my I don't remember how old I was at this point. I was probably I was 13 when the original Xbox came out. So that was 3 years later. So I was like 16, yeah. Childhood me. Edgar Gang. I was gonna say, everyone in the chat, are you a jumper? Are you a roller? Or are you a cartwheeler? Or are you one of those weirdos that plays one of the monster characters, which can like do weird teleports and shit? I always like the jump. It's what your character can do in the main game, and I didn't want to deviate too much from that. Although sometimes I would play as Sama, who's basically like cracked out Vash the Stampede from Trigun. And I liked him because he looked like Vash the Stampede. Okay, Wheeler now jump for years. I used to play Monster, but Wheeler Edgar now. I'm seeing some Cartwheeler supremacy here.
I do want to recognize Toaster Oven. Earlier said rule of good PD players, all of them are age 44. which is funny because I'm 44.
Is that exactly how old you are? That's awesome. So I just turned 36. So I'm getting there. That's why I'm not a great PD player. Jumper is good too. High skill floor. Okay. We got some jumper rep in the house. So I remember when they deactivated the original Xbox Live for the last time. Everybody went on to play. Everyone was like, let's do some Halo 2. We're going to send it out with a bang. And me and some friends, some online friends that I made. Okay, this is going to be a huge shot in the dark here. If there's anyone in here whose name on Phantom Dust used to be Bitter X Cloud, that's the real one. He was the guy I would play with all the time. And we were like neck and neck at all times. Like we were both like at the same level, and we both just kept getting better with each other, and he was my like rival. Young whippersnappers. Thanks for making me feel young, because I feel old everywhere else. But we got on Phantom Dust on the last day. No, not Cloud Dust 78. It was Bitter. I remember it was Bitter X Cloud, or maybe Bitter Cloud X. I know it was Bitter and Cloud together, and then an X somewhere, because it was the early 2000s, so you have to put an X in there.
Oh yeah,
XX Dark Lord 42069XX.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had buddies that they all changed their names, so it was like their name, but it was like 3 X's and then their name and then 3 more X's.
Yeah, and you do the lowercase one and then the uppercase one and then an underscore and then what your name is. Oh god, I'm so glad I never did that. And the probably only reason is because Kakashi Hayabusa was the maximum character count. I was like, I could do the 15 characters allowed. But yeah, so the day that they were shuttering Xbox Live for the last time, a bunch of my friends were like, yo, let's get on Halo 2. And I was like, first of all, it would be Halo 3. No, that was on 360. It would be Halo 1, which didn't even have online play. I was like, no, I'm getting on Phantom Dust with the boys, and we're going to send it off with a bang. And as it kept getting closer to midnight and closer and closer and closer, I wonder if everyone in the Bitter Cloud X 2000s field. I don't know if he did the like camel case, but yeah, it was up there. I think he changed his name to something else though. His dedication. Yeah. So it was getting closer and closer to midnight. We're like, one more match, and they were all really good, just great matches. Which, by the way, you can do 1v1, you can do 2v2, or you can do like a battle royale, which is 1v1v1v1, where everyone is your enemy. Which is pretty sick. There's also different rule sets. You can do like fast mode, which is I think everybody has like 5 health, or like really low health, I forget what it is, or like tank mode where everybody has like double health and they go for a long time, which changes the way that the cards go. But 2v2 is best. Any other game mode is a mental illness. See, I was always a 1v1 guy. I liked the 2v2. I didn't really like Battle Royale. I was probably, I don't know, maybe 60% of the time I was playing 1v1. The rest of the time I was doing 2v2. I do like the team. But most people just are looking for Battle Royales, and I'm like, it's so chaotic when you're trying to fight 3 people at once. But yeah, so it's getting closer to midnight. We're probably only going to have time for one more. They're going to cut us off. It's going to be so sad. We'd do a match. We'd come back to the lobby, and everyone would be like, okay, that was probably the last one. Thanks for all the memories, everybody. Like, it was awesome. Great time. And then we just kept waiting. It was like a funeral. We're at a funeral, but except we were waiting for the person to die at their funeral. And they just kept going, it just kept going. And it would be like 12:05, 12:07. And we're like, okay, I mean, I guess maybe it's on like Pacific time. And we're like, maybe we have a couple more hours. So then we played for 3 more hours, waiting for it to get to midnight Pacific time, where Microsoft headquarters was. And then, which was like 3 a.m. And I'm sure I had school the next day. And I was like, I don't care. I got to get my last Phantom Dust matches in.
Yeah.
And then we still stayed on. And it was getting to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I think. And everybody was like, oh my God, dude, like we've been playing this all night. Like we all have to go to school or somewhere tomorrow. And we eventually were like, well, maybe today wasn't the day. Maybe they'll just keep it going. And then we logged off. Little did we know that us staying online was actually keeping it online.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because I don't know if you remember when this happened, people purposely stayed in Halo 2 lobbies 24/7 to keep it running, and it went for like months afterwards, and I think they had to eventually bribe them with like Microsoft points to get them to log off so that they could shut down the servers or something like that. Like it was absurd. You guys were the PD version of the Halo lobby. Yes, exactly. I'm so glad somebody else knows about that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Really?
But mostly because I wasn't an online gamer until like way after that, until like probably 2008.
Wow. What was it that got you in?
I got internet access.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
I didn't have access to the internet before that.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. You had to pay to get online back then. Yeah, I remember those cards. Buying the little. Wait, don't you still? I mean, unless you don't play it on PC, you can play on PC obviously for free. But if you play it on Xbox, you have to have Xbox Live, I think. I remember like going into GameStops even before I worked at one, and finding the used games that had all the like 3 months trials still in them and just taking them. And then I would just like, I don't feel like paying for it, so I would just go for like 3 months at a time, just scavenging. Oh, I play on Xbox for free all the time. Oh, maybe is it because it's a free game, or is that just how Xbox is? I actually don't know. But yeah, so I got really into this game. I played well into the night all the time, just with some friends. Probably the closest online friends I think I ever made, until I don't even know. Maybe probably Halo 3. So not super long after that. I think Halo 3 was 2007 or 8. But for a few years, it was like those were the boys. And yes, as Surreal is saying, anyone in here who has never played this before, including you, Drew, can play a remaster version for free on Xbox and PC. And I think is there still the pack that you can like get that has all the skills? Like you don't have to earn all the skills anymore, do you? Phantom Dust Discord community. No. Oh. Wait, no is in $5 for a playset of all the cards. That's actually not bad. I mean, I paid oh my God, I have another weird story about this game actually. I think this game was $20 when it came out, which was probably another reason that it didn't like pop off, because it probably came out for $20 and people were like, what is this weird game I've never heard of? $20? It's got to be bad. $20 at launch? Got to be bad.
Right.
So Majesco published this game. On PC, one of our players made a desktop application to get infinite skills? Holy shit, that's awesome. Hey, that's cool. I'm going to have to get in on that because I don't even think I got all the skills. I was trying to go through single player and unlock them, but so anyway, Majesco published this game, R.I.P. Majesco, and one of their next games that came out was, do you remember a game? Have you ever heard of a game called Advent Rising, Drew, or anyone?
That sounds familiar, but I may be getting it confused with Advent Children.
Okay, yes, it's definitely the contest. Yes, Affenshoe knows where I'm going. So Advent Rising was a kind of, imagine like the gameplay of like Star Wars Force Unleashed, but also with guns. And so you had these like psychic powers. It was a sci-fi game. You're fighting aliens. Written by Orson Scott Card, who wrote Ender's Game, by the way. Yeah. And who's also apparently just a shit person, which makes me sad because that is my favorite book.
It happens.
So I know.
Try to separate the art from the artist.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what I do with Michael Jackson.
Oh, totally. That's like Josh and I were just talking about this not too long ago. I'm like, Kevin Spacey might be a shit human being, but it's not going to stop me from watching Baby Driver because I love that freaking movie.
I mean, it doesn't make Usual Suspects a bad movie.
No, right. So this game Advent Rising came out. It was touted. It was gonna be like a big trilogy. They had all these plans, all these very elaborate plans, and I think the game was pretty good. It was fine. Like, it was a little bit rushed. I'd still say to have some fun. Oh my god, the hype was unreal. So particularly because they were like, if you buy this game, Advent Rising, also published by Majesco, you could win $1 million. When it actually ran, it was fine. You're not wrong, unfortunately. Great trailer, awesome music as well. It kind of felt like almost like an early precursor to, like, if you took like Titan AE and mixed it with like Avatar, like not Firebending Avatar, Blue People Avatar. Yeah. So, but they were like, you could win $1 million, and I was like, a word? And they had this contest where you would download via a patch. This is one of the first like instances of downloadable content I think I've ever seen. You would download a patch to your game, and they would give you a clue as to like a location in the game, and then they would put these little icons, and you would have to go and collect the icon. And if it would tell them, the first person to collect the icon gets entered to win $1 million. Mm. So the internet is the internet, and the hackers are hackers, and they got a hold of the information immediately. As soon as the patch came out, they just got the location information and basically cheated it. So they were like, wait. And I put so much time into finding these freaking things. And at the time, we didn't have Wi-Fi, so I was just taking the hard line from my computer to look up when it was going to come out, then taking it from my computer and plugging it into the Xbox to download the patch and go play it, then go reverse it again. So, it was such a pain in the ass. That's how we had to do it back in the day. And they were like, actually, wait, sorry. So I did it, like, they did like 4 or 5 of them. There was, I think, maybe going to be 10. And they were like, hang on, people are cheating. Like, it's all now null and void, and we're not going to do the contest anymore. And everybody was pissed. Everybody was bummed. But what they did to, I guess, make up for it was they were like, you can get 2 free Majesco games as if you participated in the contest. So I'm curious if anyone here from Phantom Dust Discord, if that's how they got into this game, because because Phantom Dust was one of the free games you could get. So I had already had it, and I had Psychonauts because that was one of the other ones. So Psychonauts was one of them that I got for free, and the other one that I got was Guilty Gear XX Reload, which is how I got into that series. Which is, if for those who don't know, is like a ridiculous over the top anime fighting game. So I got into Phantom Dust, I got into Psychonauts and Guilty Gear, which I still play to this day because of Phantom Dust, basically. Because I saw, like, I didn't know the difference between developers and publishers back in the day when I was 16. So I was like, oh my god, Majesco is like the best. They make the best games ever because they made Phantom Dust. And then they were like, here's a new game called Advent Rising published by Majesco, and I was like, oh my god, that's the people that made Phantom Dust, even though it wasn't. So I got it, did the contest, and then they were like, hey, 2 free games. So that's how I missed there was like a $20 rebate, so you could get Phantom Dust for free. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's crazy that
Psychonauts was one of the games that they gave away for free, and like Psychonauts became this like huge like cult classic.
Right. I think the first time you came into one of my streams was when Police and I were playing it. Like, she was playing it for the first time. She beat it that night, I think. And I think she was about to give up because it is a hard final boss. And through everyone, for the viewers and mostly your support, Drew, she kept going, and she did eventually beat it. And she's like, I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad people were cheering me on. So thank you on her behalf for that.
I'm glad that I could have done a little something to help her finish the game.
Yeah. I forgot to also mention, so on Wednesdays, if I am doing a wild card Wednesday and my girlfriend is here and free, we'll just play whatever game she's playing, and then it becomes Girlfriends Days. So we just beat Little Nightmares 2, I think, on a Girlfriends Days. And I'm still having large nightmares from that game. I don't do horror, so my god.
Series that that I've never played that I wanted to get into.
It's great. Have you seen Coraline?
I have not. No.
Okay.
My daughter's big into it.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's basically that as a video game.
Gotcha.
I already had Psychonauts, so I was just a dealer for Phantom Dust. Yo, man, I gotta get my fix. I need that sweet aura. I got a mainline Psycho Spear right now. I was working in EB Games when it came out, and I made sure to center it on the shelves above Madden. Hell yeah, that's the way to go. I did a similar thing when I worked at GameStop. I think I'm talking too much because I'm starting to lose my voice. When I worked at GameStop, and every time people would come in, we were just about to stop selling Xbox and GameCube games, and people would always come in and ask for recommendations, and I'd be like, take this game right now. At that time, it was probably like $10. I was like, take this game, play it. Do you like action? Play it. Do you like weird shit? Play it. Do you like card games? Play it.
Do you like the future? Do you like magic? Do you like fighting? Do you like
right? I know.
Technology?
It's such a weird soup that, like we were saying before, like it shouldn't work, but it does. And it really does. And even like the story goes places, like I'm obviously not going to spoil it for anyone who wants to play it, but like it goes places like Evangelion level, like what is going on? My brain hurts. Like existential crisis. This game probably caused my first existential crisis. All my friends that played came from Magic backgrounds back then. So I had never gotten into Magic the card game, and every time I would explain this game to friends, they'd be like, "Oh, it sounds like Magic the Gathering," and I'm like, "Okay, if that gets you to play it, sure." So I'm still trying to get a couple people who I know who are really into Magic to play it, but it's easier than ever before. You literally can play it for free. There's free online. There's a great community, as you can see here on this side of the screen with the chat popping off. I went and downloaded it while you were talking. Oh, sick. Nice.
Yeah, I already downloaded it.
That's how easy it was.
Xbox and I downloaded it. Yeah.
In the span of this conversation, you can download Phantom Dust for free and play it for free. And
which, funny enough, when I saw the cover, because I can't really see the cover on your screen.
Yeah, that's kind of small.
When I saw the cover in Xbox Game Pass, yeah, I have seen that cover before.
Oh, sick! Yeah, the art that's like both of them half and half.
Yeah, the two guys and it's split. Yeah. I've definitely seen that before because I remember I saw that and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I clicked on it and I was like, well, this looks weird. And maybe I'll come back to it. And then I went off to something else and I just completely forgot about it. Yeah. But yeah, I do remember seeing that cover on Xbox Game Pass.
Nice. Yeah, they promoted it a little bit. I think mostly so there was going to be a sequel. They released a trailer and everything. I need some backup in here to to share in the excitement. Like Phantom Dust people, how badly on a scale of oh my god to I have shit myself did you guys react to that the trailer of the second one? Repressed memories. I know. I think it was E3. They just showed randomly like, oh, we're making a new Phantom Dust. Here's a little trailer of two people like in modern day though, like normal clothes, like shooting little fireballs and stuff at each other with the very iconic like wispy energy effect. And I was like, oh my god. And then they canceled it. And I was like, shit! But I saw what it looked like. 9 out of 10 shits. I disliked the visuals, but I was on board for everything else. See, I could have dealt with the visuals. I didn't want to. I didn't want to have to, but when I saw the actual gameplay and like the weird, like they had some early builds of it and it looked like very ragdoll-y and just kind of awkward. Like your characters look like they're made of like putty when they would get hit and stuff. And cause it was a Japanese game. And now that Microsoft owns it, I think it was going to be an American developer and it just didn't have the spirit of the game. Like, so while I'm sad that we didn't get another Phantom Dust, I'm happy that we didn't get a half-baked weird Phantom Dust.
Yeah.
Gameplay looked weird, but I would have dealt with it. I know. I think we all would have. It's like...
Yeah. Phantom Dust by the same crew that brought you... what is it? Totally Accurate Battle Simulator?
Yeah. Oh my God. No, it felt like that. Or like Goat Simulator. Like the weird ragdoll effects.
Yeah.
But I saw some of the environmental art was awesome. Like somebody started, like I saw them making an early recreation of one of my other favorite levels, maybe the most iconic level, I think I would say, which is called Palace, which is like a mall. So there's like two levels with escalators and stairs on either side and walkways that go across and a giant tree like growing up through the middle of the stage. And it's so sick. And you can, like, with the destructible physics in that one, you can wait for somebody to go under one of the walkway bridges and hit it with something to make it collapse on them and crush them.
That's awesome.
It's so sick. And then it's like that for the rest of the match. So
yeah.
There's like tables and chairs and stuff. There's a move called Psychokinesis, which lets you basically like pick up stuff and throw it. And that was the best level for that move because you had all these tables and chairs that you're just chucking at people with your mind. It's dope. It reminds me of... Oh, if you want to dig later on, we have some prototype and details. Ooh, potential menus and menu pass. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Huh.
It reminded me a lot of this anime called X, which I only know because to age myself again, there was a movie version of it, and I rented it from a Blockbuster in their anime section, and it was super cool, and I had no idea what was going on because little did I know that it was an epilogue to an anime series. So I was basically watching the end of a show that had already existed, and I was like, this is so sick, but I have no idea what's going on. And I'm like, should I be sad about some of these characters dying? Maybe.
Right.
But it had like a similar post-apocalyptic, so it was kind of like Phantom Dust, and I'm so happy that you'll get my other reference for this, Psychic Force 2012, that weird-ass game that I was playing the other day that you were like, what is that? What are you playing?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're flying around at each other in the cube.
In the cube,
yeah. So it was very similar to that, just like in the way of the kind of pseudo post-apocalyptic, like just using, like in that show, like people are just like ripping up, like rebar and concrete from the ground and throwing it at each other, which you can kind of do in Phantom Dust. Like one of the defensive skills is I think called Concrete Wall, and like if somebody's going to shoot something at you, you can like just pull up like Earthbender style, just like rip up like plates of concrete to use as a shield. It's so sick.
That is pretty awesome.
You can tell I'm not usually on the giving end of experience shares because I feel like I haven't shut up the entire time. So I will now open.
This is fantastic. I love it.
I'll open the floor to you, Drew. You don't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna play it. Do you think realistically that you are interested, and like, what is your overall impressions of the game so far?
Well, I mean, I did download it.
That's true, but you might have just
have it.
You might have just been saying that.
No, I actually did download it. It sounds fucking cool. It looks really good for a game that came out in, what did you say, 2005?
2005 over here, so it's 21 years old technically, but 20 years as an American citizen.
Yeah, just from what I was seeing, the gameplay that you were just doing just now, I mean, it's like the graphics hold up, which is nice.
Yeah,
especially since the whole world is destructible.
Right, I know.
which is awesome.
Sam says the Phantom Dust community just grew by 5%. we are small, but we are. It's a
rabid,
small but rabid. Yeah, we're kind of like little feral Chipmunks. It's a small but very dedicated fan base, much like the fan base that I've discovered from Steambot Chronicles. Yeah, so I totally forget what I was going to say. You're talking about the environments and destructible and stuff like that. There's also ridiculous giant like kaiju boss fights in this game.
Oh, really?
So sometimes you'll be fighting like you saw the little monsters I was fighting were like kind of human sized. Sometimes you fight other espers. Sometimes you fight human sized monsters, and sometimes you fight a monster that's like the size of a small apartment. Like, it's super cool. Pretty varied locales. I do kind of wish there was more levels, more stages. I would love that. There is a small group of people who I think are starting to mod Phantom Dust and add like custom skills and stuff. I would love custom stages more than anything, but I imagine that's a shit ton of work.
Right, yeah.
If you play through things, especially with the story, I do want to say most players get frustrated at the bosses. Fair. I strongly feel you should approach them as puzzles and not normal enemy encounters. I like that. Okay.
Well, that's cool because I like bosses like that. Like that's how a lot of the bosses in funny to bring it back to Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
that's how a lot of the bosses in Chrono Trigger were. It was like each one had their own like weird weakness that you could exploit.
Okay.
And like half of the boss fight was figuring out like, okay, I have to, if I attack after he does this, then it will be double the damage, you know?
Oh,
so it was almost
nice.
like a puzzle figuring out how to beat the boss.
Yeah, totally. And it's like you have to, a lot of them have like, you know, a weak spot that's like got like an armor piece or something that you have to wait for like this eye to open up, which shoots you. But if you shoot the eye at the same time, like that's how you do damage, like things like that. Or like making sure you have skills that will hit, because all the projectile skills have ranges to them. So like if you're too close, it might kind of go wide. If you're too far away, it might not. So you kind of have to like position yourself well, and like, yeah, like kind of treating them like almost mini levels in and of themselves. They are frustrating though. They were definitely right. Ablation,
like,
were you the one that has been modding this game? Because I think I was referencing you without knowing that it was you. Because I was like, yeah, there's somebody who's doing mods for this game. It sounds like you are. Character skins for all 4 outfits take about 2 hours. That's actually not too bad considering.
Right.
I could see that taking a lot longer. But yeah, there's a lot of characters, a lot of playable characters, a lot of like enemy characters that you can play as that all feel a little bit different. After the stream, if you're interested, I can send you over my YouTube in the modding Discord. Oh, sick. Yeah, totally. Yeah, or DM me on Discord. Yeah, I'd love to see what people are working on, especially for something like this that has so little like it hasn't been cracked open that much. It's not like people are completely rehauling the game. And I wonder, I don't code or anything like that, so I wonder if it just has to do with how the game is set up. But
it's also cool that there's people modding a 21-year-old game.
Right. Yeah.
Like like I can understand that there's still people modding, you know, like Skyrim.
Totally.
Cuz like, you know, it's kind of a evergreen game, you know. I can see that people are still modding Fallout 4 cuz it's like the newest Fallout, you know? Like that makes sense, but it's cool to see people still have an interest in a game that came out, like you said, in 2005.
Yeah, totally. And it's so, I'm so glad that it's more available now for people to play, because when Xbox Live went offline, I remember I purchased this. It was backwards compatible on the 360, and I remember purchasing this like weird device that would allow me to plug in my original Xbox memory card, and I would put the big chunky ass 360 hard drive on top of it, and then transfer all my save and my arsenals and stuff from, you know, your decks from my original Xbox memory card to the 360 one, so that I could still keep playing it. And you don't have to do that shit anymore. You can just play it. if we had a more clear way of modding this game, it could definitely last as long as Skyrim. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, those Bethesda games are almost made to be modded because they know that they're busted as all hell, and they need the modding community to make them playable. But I would love, like, I'm kind of, overall, I'm happy, more happy than sad that we didn't get the sequel, but I wouldn't want a bad sequel. I would love for something like, I don't know if Microsoft's ever going to do anything with this IP again, but I would love, so I interviewed somebody who is with Steambot Chronicles trying to get the IP from them, and he's like the biggest fan of this not franchise, there's only one, but of this IP, and I think that's the only way that a game like this is going to grow into something that the fans are actually going to like. I think you almost have to kind of put it in the fans' hands at that point, and not just say like open source, like anyone can make this game, but like they need to work with the people who are super dedicated, because if they just put out another bullshit action game and we're like just skinned it to make it look like Phantom Dust, even if it sold really well, the core us fans who have been there since the beginning playing our weird ass like mini games to unlock the Japanese demo of it are going to be like, fuck this. And then, you know, it's the integrity there. And I realized I stuttered there because I realized I was about to say integrity and Microsoft in the same sentence, which probably isn't the best way to.
It's probably not great.
It's not great anyway, but I don't know. I want it to continue. I don't think it ever will. But in the meantime, I can never shut up about this game because nobody knows about it, and more people need to play it, and it's very cool. And
now, how would you feel about a remake? Like an updated, newer, like better graphics, better I don't know, UI, gameplay, all that kind of stuff.
I think
like
that's
more streamlined, anything like that.
I think that's a better way to go than a sequel, honestly. Imagine if we had at least 200 active players. I know we could aim for the stars, my friend. I think at this point, because it's been so long, maybe for the 25th anniversary we'll get something. I highly doubt it, but that would be cool. I think it's been so long that a sequel would fall on deaf ears anyway, and people would be like, I've never even heard of the first one. Why am I going to care about a number 2? So if they properly, and I mean actually did it with love, I would love a remake. I would absolutely love it. You know, get the Unreal Engine in there, get Futatsuki-san. I don't know if he's even making games anymore, but get him back in there to at least oversee it. He doesn't have to, you know, direct it, but I need his input. And maybe like what could this look like nowadays? Like if you had made this game today, how would you make it? What would you do differently? While still obviously trying to retain the spirit of the original. I would kill members of my own family to get this. I'm mostly kidding. We have like 30 to 40 players. Oh my god, I know it's a small but strong bunch. Quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been trying my hand at that solo. Oh god, I don't. Do you ever sleep? I would add more skills, more maps, and a way to customize looks without affecting the hitboxes. Yeah, totally. If I only had to pick one of those, I would take more maps. I would just love, because there's really only at the core level 5 stages. There's Palace, which also, so nobody has any memories of what the world was like before. So you can see a little bit of the thought process that went into the design of this game in the fact that the level that's a mall with escalators and stuff and raised platforms is called Palace, because that's probably what they would think that it was. You know, some kind of like, oh yeah, you go in, you must go up these stairs and like go to see the monarch or whatever.
Right, yeah.
What's sleep?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're kind of right. You go up the stairs and you bow down and you worship at the altar of capitalism.
Yes, you certainly do. You go up and you say, I guess I need to go. Oh my God, I'm so old. I was going to say Radio Shack. I haven't been to a Radio Shack in so long. I need to worship at the altar of Auntie Anne's pretzels. So there's Palace, which is like the mall. There's Highway, which I showed you, which has, I don't know if you saw it, but it has like this overpass that's just like twisting up into the sky. Then there's Panorama, which is the kind of office building one. It's like very close quarters. But then outside there's like you're at the top of a building, and then outside it's just raining giant rocks. Like the whole building is just like crumbling around you. It's so dope. Yeah. Then there's Refinery, which is one of my favorite levels, which is basically you're on like an oil rig with like little catwalks and everything, and there's just water underneath you, so you can like pick people off and knock them off into the water.
Oh, that's cool.
Then there is there's City, which is an interesting one, which is basically like a little Japanese town. But for story reasons, which I won't go into, whenever you destroy something there, like the destructible environments, it actually like glows gold and then like reforms again.
Oh shit.
It's super cool looking. It's a really cool effect. And it looks like straight up out of like a Sailor Moon, episode or something. Like it's just like a back alley of like a small Japanese town. So I think that was 5. Then there's City, which is a straight up acid trip of a level, which, as if they all haven't been already, which is basically like you're sideways on some skyscrapers and you're like running up billboards and stuff. Like gravity works differently. So you're like, the floor is like the side of a building, and there's just like giant floating like box trucks and stuff that you can jump up and get onto and like, pick people off from up there. And then there's, I think the last level is, and correct me team if I'm missing one, but I think the 7th level, so the 7 is called is that Sane or Sen? Like it's Sein, and it's just like a big tower, and then you are just running around the outside of it, which also has story implications as well. Sane, yeah. I never knew. I never knew what that was. I was like, is it Sane or Sen? Like sign. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I've been saying it wrong 2 different ways my whole life. The last time you spoke to Futatsuki-san? Holy shit. He was currently supervising projects for his new company, and he's currently working on a VR game. Ooh. Oh my god, this game in VR would be so sick. And it would make me so sick. I would vomit everywhere. That's awesome, Blasian. Like, you actually talked to him? I saw...
Blasian, are you a game dev?
Yeah, right? I saw Nick Robinson's interview with him, which he's... does he work for... Or did he work for Polygon or Kotaku? Or I think he was involved in one of those big gaming companies, and he is like the front runner of the getting Phantom Dust to other people movement. And he made like a 45-minute long, really, really good like video essay about Phantom Dust and why more people need to play it. You are a game dev. Oh, sick.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, at Full Sail. Sick.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he worked for Polygon. Yeah, and he interviewed Futatsuki-san as well, and he sounded interested in making another one, but it's not in his hands anymore, unfortunately. Yes, yeah. Nick Robinson made the Phantom Dust Discord, which is funny. Is the happy hour still going on? He started this thing that was like I don't know if it was once a week or once a month. Everyone would just go on at a certain time and play matches. Oh, not really. Oh, that's kind of sad. It was a cool idea though. Nick Robinson did wonders with those views. He had a million plus. Whoa. Oh, he dropped the happy hour without saying anything. That's kind of sad. 2 years ago. My God, I've been out of the loop. Happy hour died by like the 4th one. Oh, that hurts. That hurts me. Out of 4,000 members, only 10 to 20 of us are active. It is a nice place to congregate. Yeah, I lurk in the Discord sometimes. I'm too afraid of jumping into a match with one of you guys because you all never stopped playing this game competitively, and I may have played competitively for a long time back in the early 2000s, but I haven't played in a long time. Just play. I know I should. I do want to. I really do, but then I'm like, do I want to get my face absolutely stomped in? Maybe not. Maybe not so much. They got weird tech. 60 to 100.
That's not bad, really. 20 really active, but probably 60 to 100.
Considering.
Stopping occasionally.
You do want to get your face stopped. Touch the surface. Yeah, so another thing is like you can't be on the surface of this world for too long or your memories will be erased. So you have to like they send people up. It's kind of like Stalker or like Metro. Like they send people up to the surface to like, you know, get supplies and stuff and search for things. And you know, there are characters who stay up too long and then their minds are wiped. And then for the rest of the game, they're just like kind of like zombie people. It's weird.
Is that why your hideout is like in a bunker underground?
Yeah, totally. And there's like, so that's like where the espers are, but then like there's another section of that hub world where you'll see like it actually goes down, spiraling down into the earth, and it like I think that's where all the remains of humanity basically live. Like I think there's just tons of people, like just regular humans down there, but because not everyone gets the psychic powers from this mysterious dust. But I don't want to say too much. I do want you to experience the story. It's the excuse for the game timer. yeah, basically, because you know the matches are 15 minutes, which is kind of a lot considering how quick some of these games can go. It is a cool world building touch, though. I love the world building in this game. But yeah, like there's much like a card game, there's kind of something for everybody in terms of what kind of gameplay you want. Like if you want to just be like fast and furious and just deal damage really quickly, or if you want to like focus on like sniping, or if you want to focus on erasing their skills, there are skills that you can go to their home base, like where their skills spawn, and delete them from the ground, like delete them from the earth, which and permanently, so they cannot do anything after that. There's like you can boost your speed up like crazy and use like close range attacks. Like it's nuts. I had one that was basically, so there's like environmental skills too, which basically change how the whole level plays, and it'll be like you can only use skills, or like it'll be like all skills are now single use. And so I would make a deck that are all really good single use skills, pop that environmental thing up, which makes it affect everybody, and then go and just deal like tons and tons of damage, and everyone is wasting their like lower skills, which get erased immediately, and then they can't do anything. So as long as you can do the damage faster than they can, it's like a glass cannon type thing. There's there's so many different ways to play. You can poison people. There's moves that like travel under the ground, and like when you're poisoned, every time you press a button, you get hurt. So even if you pull up a shield or use any skill, you start to like take more damage.
Yeah,
it's gnarly. Huh. There are enviros are the world enchantments of Magic the Gathering. Okay, so I don't know what that is, but I believe you. There are, oh my god, there's skills that invert everyone's left thumbstick controls.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that one. The game needs to be remade into a movie.
Bananas.
Yeah. There's also a skill that is strictly for when you're playing online. It's called mind reading, which lets you listen to the other team's voice conversations.
Oh no shit.
So you can like you pop that skill and be like, oh my god, they just said they're running this deck, so like look out for this. Or like they said they're gonna go left, so like let's beat them to it. Like it's so cool.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Oh my god, Blasian. If they made Phantom Dust like they did with Arcane, I would cry. Oh yeah, Dazzle. There's a move that scrambles your buttons, so you don't know what's gonna come out when you push a button. It's wild. It's dirty. It's but it's a lot of fun.
That's really, really fucking cool. Because I don't think I can name another game that does like a meta action like that.
Right. Yeah, messing with your controls, like listening to your opponent's conversations, like it's It's
Like
it's super
there's
cool.
been games that I've played where like you'll walk into something and it'll invert your controls, so like up is down and down is up and everything, but not like to act in like a fucking fight game where you're actually
Right.
causing someone else to causing it to happen to somebody.
Yeah, especially on if you're playing on that refinery level and your thumbstick is scrambled. Next thing you know, you go to push right and you're walking off of the ledge into the water and taking like 5 damage every time. It's like fuck. There's ones that will like there's mines too. You can yeah. There's a move called Trigger, which when you pick up a skill and you put it on say B and you shoot it at somebody, whenever it hits them, it'll make them automatically use whatever skill is on that same button.
Oh, shit.
So you can make them like waste their moves or like I was saying, there's mines. So there's like you can put down a mine that'll either be like timed or like a proximity mine. So you can like put a bomb in the ground basically next to a ledge and somebody will come running around it and it'll blow them off the edge, which does damage. And then you take environmental damage from either falling and hitting debris or falling into the water, or like poison mines or mines that slow you down. There's a mine that slows you down by 90%. So your character is just like, they just can't do anything. And they're like, no. And then you just hit him with something really strong.
Yeah.
Remember GoldenEye proximity mine matches? Yeah, same energy. You're so right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be hilarious, actually. Get people together and with only proximity mine decks and just play like a GoldenEye match in Phantom Dust.
Yeah.
That would be like my friends and I would do a bunch of ridiculous custom matches in like the Halo games where like it would be like all snipers, everyone is invisible and everyone has the minimum amount of health. So and in Halo, like when you're invisible, when you fire you show up again. So it would be like we'd play like 16 player system link matches on a really small map where everyone's invisible and so it's dead quiet and you're like looking for like a tiny little shimmer and then someone would fire and then show up for a split second and then 15 sniper shots are just like annihilating them and then all chaos breaks out for like 10 seconds and then it's dead silent again.
Yeah, we used to do me and my buddies would play. I don't think it was GoldenEye. I think it was one of the other James Bond games. But it was one of the James Bond games for Xbox. And we used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, this match is going to be all proximity mines.
Yes.
Or this match is going to be all fucking rocket launchers.
Yeah. We love the all rockets in any game. That's always a blast. In Halo 3 there was a mode called Juggernaut, which was basically like whoever was assigned, I think it was whoever got the first kill is then assigned as the Juggernaut, and they had like 300% health and shields, and they were basically super tanky, but they were slower. And then, but when you became the Juggernaut, everyone tried to kill you. So you could do a custom Juggernaut mode, which I made and I called Ninja Knot, which was when you are the Juggernaut, you turn invisible, you only have a sword, you have really fast and you can jump high, but you have like no health. So then you're like sneaking around and it becomes like a Metal Gear Solid game because everyone's running around you with guns that can like kill you. Also, you don't have a radar when you're the ninja, but everyone else has the widest possible range of the radar. So if you take a step, everyone's going to know where you are and they're going to come look for you and you have to hide and like try to get him with the sword and then run away and hide again. It was so much fun. God, I missed that game. Trigger, if you stood really close to the person using Trigger, had perfect timing, you might be able to get them stuck in a loop. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. And this is why I'm afraid to play online. No, I'll jump on. I will. I'll get on and play some matches, especially after getting to talk about this with new people and old fans again has been a ton of fun. I won't take too much more of your time, Drew. I know we've been going for a little over an hour and a half, and which is about how long we went last time. Are you streaming tonight?
It's almost 11. Probably not.
Damn, it is. I forgot we started a little later. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you have if anyone has any final thoughts, this was Phantom Dust. I highly recommend it.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
It's just real-time Magic the Gathering.
I'm excited to try it.
Nice. Oh, I will play Chrono Trigger if you play Phantom Dust. Now we have something that we have shared, and we can reconvene maybe I don't know, in a month or something, and just be like, how far did you get into Phantom Dust? How far did you get into Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, exactly.
I did that with Josh actually. I got him to watch Arcane, and he got me to watch Bluey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember you guys talking about that. Yeah.
I like Phantom Dust, but that feels like an imbalanced trade. I mean, you could put just as much time in both games, I think. Never heard of Steambot Chronicles, but I'm going to look into it. Hey, and now we got another person looking into Steambot Chronicles. And that's what this is all about. That's why this is the experience point. We're just here talking about experiences and sharing shit with each other that we love. Love the PS2 JRPGs. So it's actually a straight up action RPG. You are in full control of your mech the whole time in that game, which was honestly one of the things that made me really eager to play it. But it's kind of like custom robo. It's kind of like very, very light. I called it cozy armored core, which is as all the characters say on the title screen, it's a relaxing non-linear adventure. So you can kind of play it however you want. There's a fully functional stock market system that you can mess around with if you want. You can make ridiculous money by like buying and selling. Like you can put people out of work and then go in and buy their company. You can be a villain. You can like join a gang. You can there's like a whole fossil hunting system where like you can just break rocks with like, you get like the drill arm for your robot, and you can, or the pickaxe arm, and you can like drill into rocks and get these big fossils and then cart them back to the museum. It's literally like Animal Crossing. There's so much shit that you can do. Which actually, if anyone's interested in that, check out the YouTube video of me talking to Sam from Dogwood Gaming, where he did an experience share to me, and that's how I found out about this game. So check that out on YouTube. It's a great listen, and it'll get you pumped to play this game. Sorry, go ahead, Drew.
I will say that I have been having a lot of fun watching you play Steambot Chronicles. I think you bring an edge to the game that I don't know if I would be that into it if I played it by myself, but I really enjoy watching you play it because of all the commentary that you give to it.
Trying to get with the one character's mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, not to, that's a good enough segue into a plug. That is what I'm playing now on Mondays, right here on the Experience Point. So if you haven't already, please drop a follow. If you want more content like this, you can check out, I put all my VODs on YouTube if you just want to watch after the fact. I'm playing that on Mondays. And you can see my progress up to this point. I think the next time I play it, next Monday, I think it'll be part 6, maybe part 7. But it has been a lot of fun. And one thing that I don't knock anyone who doesn't have the chat as part of their embedded videos, but I love being able to go back and watch people's like reactions in real time. That's why like I have the chat thing over here. I love going in and seeing people be like, "Oh my god, like I just discovered this game." Like, I'm super excited because Twitch VODs, they don't have that. So you can actually experience things in real time with people, which is why I do this whole thing. If you do follow Drew at, you might have put a link. We can watch him play Phantom Dust with a little luck. So I actually have, I appreciate that. I have links turned off because I get too much spam and scam and all that bullshit. But yeah, you can follow all across the internet at the Experience Point, TheEXP POINT. Or if you just want to follow my day-to-day stuff, I have my own little thing down here at my personal stuff. Definitely follow this man right here, Drew the Damager at Drew the Damager here on Twitch or across. What social medias are you on now? Just Blue Sky and
Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube. It's all Drew the Damager.
nice. Yeah, and what are you playing right now, streaming wise? I know you're. Did you finish Outer Wilds?
I just finished Outer Wilds.
Nice.
It was really, really good.
I'll play that eventually. You and Josh are both like played Outer Wilds, but look up nothing about it.
Yeah, go into it completely blind.
Yeah.
I did, and I'm glad that I did.
Nice.
At some point, I'm going to be playing Pony Island.
Oh, for the first time?
Which I don't really know anything about that game either.
Good. Go in completely blind.
Yeah. All I know is that who was it? Matter 418. One of my semi regulars came into my chat one time and he said something about it. I was like, oh, I never heard about that. And he was like, he's like, what's your Steam name?
I didn't what? He just bought it for you?
It's Drew the Damager, and like 30 seconds later, I saw it pop up in my thing. You got a gift from Matter.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh shit, all right. He's like, I don't even care if you play it on stream, just play it.
That's awesome. I have a friend who's been bugging me to play Helldivers with him, and I'm like, I don't have like $40 extra right now. We're struggling right here in late stage capitalism. Right, so I need friends like that. But yeah, give Drew a follow here on Twitch and on all of the things. Yeah, I feel like I may have talked entirely too much, but that's how these things go. My voice.
No man, you sold it.
Nice.
Like I said, I downloaded it.
I guess that's really all we need. Yeah, for some reason my keyboard is not. Oh, there we go. I was gonna check and see real quick if anybody was streaming that we could raid to. Because we like to share the love around here. Can we get there?
Well, if none of your friends are streaming, there's a couple of my friends streaming.
Okay. I have got. Oh my God! My Life in Gaming is streaming. I haven't seen them on in a while. I had somebody on from there to talk Dreamcast.
Don't they do a podcast?
Yeah, they do. I know them from Josh. Let's. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who this current Fan of Dust audience would relate to, because I have a friend who is streaming Sonic. I have a friend who's streaming retro Nintendo, and I have a friend who is just chatting. So how about some? I'll send you guys to G. I like G. G is good people.
He is good people.
Yeah.
I also follow G.
Nice. I'm a Sonic fanboy at heart, so I always like people who do Sega content. G to the next level. Did I spell that right? Can I see? My eyes, my old man eyes. All right. Friends, frenemies, enemies, whoever you are, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Drew. I appreciate you taking time to let me gush about, honestly, probably a top 5 game for me. Definitely top 10, probably top 5. I never shut up about this game. Hope to see you guys online.
It's top 10 on your favorites list.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
So, where is it on your top 10 of best games made
list? Ooh.
List.
So I actually don't have a top 10 best list. Mm-hmm. Like I certain things I do have a separate, like my Studio Ghibli movies. I'm like, I have a favorite list and I have a best list. I don't have a best game list. But I hate to say it, but I don't know if it would crack top 10. Just because there are so many like just incredible pieces of art and interactive pieces of art that have just moved me so much, that are just, I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe I'm underselling it. But it's
but that's
I think
that's
it's
like, you know, when we talked about Chrono Trigger, where I said it's not my favorite game of all time, but I do think it is the best game ever made.
yeah, and I love that distinction too. And I mentioned when we were talking about that, I'm like, whenever people are like, "Oh, what's your favorite?" I always go to Ghibli movies. They're like, "What's the best Ghibli movie?" And I'm like, "Okay, so if you're asking me my favorite, it's Princess Mononoke. But if you want the best one that I think will be the most enjoyable for anyone to watch, Spirited Away. You know, I don't think anybody can watch Princess Mononoke. Just like I don't think anybody can play Phantom Dust. You know, it's gonna hit you. If it's gonna get you, it's gonna get you. You know, it checks a lot of boxes for me, but I don't know if it's gonna be one of those universally. It obviously wasn't a universally beloved and acclaimed game, but it's very niche. And if you are in that niche, as you can see by all of the wonderful Phantom Dust fans, the Espers from around the world, everybody. Actually, I'm curious. Sound off where you're from. If you're still here from the Phantom Dust, because I'm curious to see how much international love that this one got. I realize with time zones, probably everybody's going to be, you know, from the U.S. here, but
I'm guessing it's going to be 4 United States, 1 UK, and 1 Middle East.
Oh, okay. I remember staying up and playing this game so long that I would start to see more Japanese players because, because I would be playing at like 4 a.m., which would be like 5 or 6 p.m. in Japan. So they're all just getting off work when I was like still staying up playing it.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see like how, oh God, I'm just getting back into it. I can just keep talking about this game. It was cool to see the different arsenals and play styles from American to Japanese players. Like it was kind of like night and day. I don't know if I can quantify now what that difference was, but I remember being like, oh my God, I can tell when I'm playing somebody Japanese. Like they would just use different, and I imagine it's like that for, you know, other card games. Like there's just different, I mean, it's like that when I play the Pokemon trading card game on mobile. Like when I play a Japanese player, they're playing different decks than the American players are.
Yeah, and the style and strategy is probably pretty distinct.
Yeah, totally. And you're right, Parallax. Arrietty is so underrated. If you haven't watched that one? So I remember when that one first came out, I was like, okay, that was fine. When I watched that here, you can't really see now. Actually, give me 2 seconds. Oh, you won't be able to see it even if I change my scene. I have like pretty good surround sound. When I watched that with like the surround sound like cranked up, like my poor neighbors, the sound design in that movie sold it for me. Like are you into Ghibli, Drew? I forget. I'm using all these Ghibli references. I don't even know if you've seen these movies.
I've seen a handful of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a bunch of them. I saw Princess Mononoke. That was probably my favorite Ghibli movie.
Yeah. God, it's so good.
Or maybe Nausicaa.
Yes. Thank you. That's one that like not enough people talk about. That's my like number 3, I think.
Well, again, I'm old as fuck, so I remember, like, I was a little kid when that came out, so, like, that, I was, like, I don't know, probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
When I first saw that.
Damn.
Because I think it came out in, like, 85. I probably saw it a couple years later.
Yeah, I think it was, like 80, maybe 80, I want to say 88, but I might be wrong. But, yeah.
If it was 88, then I might have seen it the year after it came out in 89, because I was probably about 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
And that's the age I would have been then.
Nausicaa's your second favorite, Parallax. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that, because that's one that I think doesn't get as much love as it should. Do you remember what the first movie was you saw in theater, Drew?
The first Ghibli movie?
No, the first movie you saw in theaters.
Oh, the first movie I saw in a theater.
I remember mine. I have a distinct memory.
I'm gonna say it might have been. It might have been the Muppet movie.
Nice.
I think.
Wow.
Maybe.
Which was what, like 80?
Oh, it's got to be 80s. Yeah, probably mid 80s.
Yeah, it was like 85.
Probably 85. Yeah, I was 5 in 85. So
Okay.
probably.
It was Lion King for me. And I think 93. 93, I think that one came out.
Yeah.
That was a great year for movies. If it was 93. I know that 1993 was a great year for movies because Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Mask and I think Ace Ventura 2 came out that year. Or the first Ace Ventura I think came out that year. Great year for
really?
Jim Carrey. I think it was 93. Maybe not. I was also like a couple of years old. So anyway, all of this aside, I'm getting back into another tangent, and now we're about to hit 2 hours. So I will not keep you for much longer, Drew and everyone. So I will say what I always say. Thank you to all my guys, gals, non-binary pals. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Go to therapy. And there's only one thing I can recommend at the end of this stream, and that is this amazing masterpiece, Phantom Dust. Play it, or else. Everyone, have a good night. Thank you, Drew. I'll send you over to my pal G at G to the next level for some retro stuff. Everyone, have a good one. Take care. Thanks again, Drew.
Night, everybody.
We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah. Peace.